right here. In the yellow, he is.
KT Roaster Flash.
They switched colors.
Good thing I didn't.
I know. I was like, well, I think it's Maru, but
I wasn't sure. All right. And in the upper left, here in the red, he is
Maru Prime.
okie dokes. This is it, Flash. You better win this, or you are out once again. And I would say, let's see how well he did at Bucharest. Nope. I think that, yeah, if Flash loses here, he can't go to BlizzCon. He just doesn't make it. He does not make the cut.
Gas first here, by the way, for Flash.
Okay. Okay. I like it. I think that a lot of these high-end Terrans that can macro very well, I like them opening with tech and TBT. Like the quicker tech a lot of the time. Because if they don't, sometimes the quicker tech player gets an edge on them and it goes into a semi-macro game where when it's still not the biggest economy and then the player keeps up with them and still has that edge and it gets really hard. So I like this choice here by Flash, but I got to tell you right now, I feel like Jokchi is probably hoping to God that Maru finishes this right now. Because, you know, they played in Flash and Jokchi played in the round of 32. And, like, Flash stomped Jokchi. And, of course, the winner of this match plays against him in the round of 8.
Jokchi probably at home right now, watching us. And thinking just that.
He's sticking pins into his Flash hair doll. Every Terran pro in Korea has a Flash hair doll.
His Flash voodoo doll.
Oh. Flash hair goes for big money on the Terran channels on Battle.net Tastes.
Oh, I bet. Now we have the SCV getting in here and just doing a little bit of scouting.
Sees the gas timing. It's what you want with it. Of course, the factory over halfway done here for Flash. And the second gas. So probably going to be a cloaked Banshee coming out of this. Whereas with Maru, he'll be getting the factory very shortly here.
And I'm wondering here if is Flash going to try meching again. He's been big on meching. He was playing this like in Starcraft 1.
This map's really good for mech and TVT. Really, really good.
Makes sense. Easy to hold the third. The fourth, definitely easy to acquire. Well, you don't normally go into 5 bases with mech. Normally you end up killing them off before the 5th base.
If you go into 5th, it gets pretty hard to have everything spread correctly for that.
Right.
Okay, so wait a minute. Did we do the wrong player intros? Oh wait, no, never mind. Wait a minute. My brain just like short-circuited.
Wait. What do you mean?
I was casting as Flash in the top left. Did they just switch the nameplates? I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Never mind. Anyways, this is all like last game kind of. It's actually the tech is going to Maru. I am sorry. I'm really confused.
I'm here for you, Artosis.
Thank you. Support me to cast for a minute.
Well, we don't have that preview PC today.
Yeah.
So
Flash is actually the one playing the more macro oriented style here, which means that it does give Maru that chance to get an edge with his opening.
Yeah.
The thing is, if the opening does no damage, then suddenly Flash is laughing because he has such a quick command center.
That has got to be a frustrating loss there for Flash. I feel like Flash, you know, when he mech'd before, over the years and years and years of watching him play before he made the switch over to StarCraft 2, because, guys, he was playing, if you're new to StarCraft 2, Flash was still playing StarCraft 1 after StarCraft 2 came out.
Certainly was.
But, you know, he was so absolutely perfect at holding anything with mech.
Yes.
Just completely, totally infallible. That it's got to be frustrating from now in StarCraft 2 to not quite have it down.
Oh, doesn't quite trigger there. I wonder if Flash
this might actually allow Maru to run inside the base with the Widow Mine now.
It could, actually. Well, we do have a missile turret here as well as that Viking, so a lot of damage done already to this Banshee. 4 Hellions coming up, but that's a fine amount of Marines at the top of the ramp. Not really going to break there. It looks like this is going to be... Oh my god.
What?
Yeah, you probably should just go repair that.
Yeah, I think so.
So this is actually kind of interesting. We have siege tanks and Banshees being built. This is a one base all-in from Maru.
Yep.
Is he actually going to be able to finish Flash off?
Oh, this is cute.
Yeah. Are they going to switch places soon?
All right, your turn. Oh, he didn't have that timed out right? Nothing to see here. Oh, that was so good.
Yeah, I guess, does he think he killed it or something? Like,
I think he got the timing of it all wrong. Oh, nice.
All right, a good dual usage scan there. Now, Flash is grabbing a Raven right now. That's not going to help him out too much against the Siege Tank, though. Or the 2 Siege Tanks. Some SCVs should be coming as well. This is a very powerful push.
Well, he's doing a great job controlling the movement around here with this Banshee. Nice job zoning out that Banshee there. And now the Siege Tanks are up. He's pulling the SCVs. He knows what's happening.
Okay, he needs to be able to break through this right now. The Banshee's dealing a lot of damage. A nice scan going down. He's going to need a cloak. Cloak does go down. They're still within scan range, though. These Hellions starting to carve through. Oh, man, it looks like Maru is...
Maru has been...
he's been destroyed.
He's been destroyed. Okay, this is not something where you're like, well, I'll just make a command center up now.
No, you can't. There's a turret in each line. He's making another Banshee. He starts a command center because he doesn't want to just GG-ing out. Because he did kill some amount of SCVs. What is the SCV count right now? It's 29. So...
but that'll,
Flash is going to get way above that by the time that finishes.
Flash can catch up because his command center's already done. So he's like landing more SCVs and landing more mules.
So, Flash is getting Blue Flame. Looks like he's going to be going into mech. Maru double command centering behind. When you get behind, why not? But this is a tough situation.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like his production is going to be so small, and I tell you, he's probably going to want to go for bio. And the amount of time it's going to take for him to build up the mineral supply to be able to make a good amount of barracks, there's just Flash is going to be at a much higher supply than he's comfortable dealing with.
Yeah, expect a pretty brutal timing here in a little bit from Flash. I mean, Maru is behind in so many different ways. You know, I think if Maru had kept his army closer together, he actually like sieged that up and attacked in there just a little bit too quickly.
Yeah, I see what you mean by that. The Banshees you really have to milk for a lot of damage, I think, in a situation like that. But that's an attack that probably will kill most Terrans. Flash was really decisive the way he just grabbed all his SCVs, brought them immediately. He had a lot of Hellions as well. And with the Raven and the Vikings, that really cleaned up the Banshees, because the Banshees were going to be the big issue in that, I think.
Yeah. Scan here.
Oh. Maru's going to go mech too. I don't think I've ever seen him go mech.
Yeah, well, considering he's teammates with Marine King and he's always doing this harass and engaging everywhere, I guess it makes sense that you have to go mech now because he's stuck in his base.
Yeah.
Are
you going to use bio? You're going to make some bunkers on your ramp to try to hold the siege tank line of Flash? Is that how it's going to go? I don't think so. It looks, based upon where he's putting those down next to the add-ons, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes very siege tank heavy and skips out more on the Hellions.
Just no harass, yeah.
Yeah, just drop their harassment, try to go for like a more powerful maxed army, and give up the map control, because right now with 18 Hellions, you literally will never catch up on Hellions. Why even make them?
Now, Maru's in a deficit against Flash, the god of mech. But, Maru already won that first game. Pretty convincingly, actually.
Well, it looks like it's probably going to go to Game 3, but we'll have to wait and see. When it's mech versus mech, you have a poor engagement into your opponent. The defender's advantage is so high that the cost efficiency can actually swing the game right back around.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if Flash overextends with the siege tanks, gets a bunch of them blown up.
Yeah.
Maru gets a good positioning here in an engagement and wins that.
Thing is that I really like how Flash is doing. He's even already started his Viking production. Just take that air advantage and keep it throughout the entire game. He's going to be able to spot better. He's going to be able to stop the medevacs that have any Hellbats in them, because that's definitely one way you like to try to break other siege tank lines.
Well, in the mech versus mech, they're both going to be powering pretty hard here. Let's talk about something, Artosis.
Well, what should we talk about, Thesis? Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Now, here are the rules to this question. Okay, you have to choose one. You have no influence over what comes out. Here, let me explain it.
Yeah.
That makes
This makes no sense right now.
All right, so computer is not a choice. You have to choose one video game system. You get all the games ever made for it. But you can never play any other video games ever again. You can't choose computer. You can't influence. You can't download stuff. Like, you just get the video games actually released for the system. Backwards compatible doesn't count. Just the games for that system specifically. Which
how long do I have to live?
Your normal life.
Oh, man.
You choose today.
I want to say Super Nintendo. Is this the wrong answer?
That's the right answer.
I think that's the right answer right now. Okay, no,
I'm like, well, actually, it was between that and Sega CD, so.
Sega CD, man. Don't forget Sega CD.
All like 10 games. All right, here we go. We have a Hellbat drop coming in to this
right,
third base.
These SCDs.
Nice try here on this harassment. Kills a few.
Yeah, and it looks like, what is this big red ball in the upper top center?
That is a good question. We'll see it in a minute. I think it is.
Yeah. So they're completely ready for a drop in case that comes that way.
Well, they actually have a pretty close Viking count, surprisingly. Flash only has one more, but he started his Vikings a lot earlier. It looks like he maybe got a little bit slow on them for a moment. Now, Flash moving forward. He's taking his fourth base while doing so. Maru has caught up in the SCV count, but he's way down in supply overall. Mostly what he's missing, though, is Hellions. So while they'll be able to tank quite a bit of damage, are they going to be enough against the pre-siege siege tanks? Now, that is quite a spread.
I got to say, by the way, this might be an overextension here by Flash. These are already siege tanks in siege mode. And these Hellbats are now getting up here doing a lot of damage to these siege tanks.
Well, this is what we were talking about with Defender's advantage. It is so strong
now,
if you lose a bunch of siege tanks.
Why on earth did Flash walk into that?
I think he must have thought there was just no way. You know, he had his three bases up so quickly.
Flash is not going to be happy.
Well, it's like evenish now, so not quite over. Flash definitely still macroing insanely. That fourth base has been taken by Maru as well, though. In fact, Flash's SCVs just got there to his fourth, so
okay,
it's a funny situation.
A scan here, he sees he should not engage in that location right there, but the Viking count is superior here from Maru. Maru, I don't call him Maru. Maru now getting chased out, or chasing Flash out, rather. We have another potential, another drop right here. And
that was actually a walk-in.
I'm a little bit worried, actually, about Flash here.
Well, he shouldn't be right there with those right now.
He should not be in this position, period.
I'm surprised that he's actually... Well, you know what? That's a good amount of siege tanks. Maru isn't going to attack him that too quickly,
this drop could do a lot of damage here to Flash.
Well, he flies right over that planetary. Right now, it looks like we might get... Are we going to have an engagement by Maru against Flash? Flash's little army? Meh. Not going to get that many kills here.
And it looks like Flash now realizes he's in a bad position. He's going to go ahead and back out now.
You know, that was, I would say, a pretty big overextension there by Flash.
Yeah, it really was.
He must have thought maybe he was a bit further ahead, but Maru had such a good spread of siege tanks. He was just... That's the thing, man. Mech versus mech doesn't end because both players are supposed to be very defensive in it. Like, if you can get some insane drops with your Hellbats on their tanks, then maybe you can break through, but a lot of times it will go into things like battlecruisers.
And they're both trying to outmaneuver each other here. It looks like we're going to have all these siege tanks siege up here for Maru, and he's going to start making static defense like the sensor tower here so he can spot where exactly Flash is going. Now, this is what Flash is best at, is meching TBT. He was a god at that in StarCraft 1, but Maru is pretty tough.
Well, this is the first time I've seen Maru play mech, but he's playing it fine. You know, there's nothing that I'm looking at and being like, oh, that's not how you do this. You know, he's moving around the map. He's being pretty mobile. He has a good composition right now. Even added a couple Thors.
Notice there's no medevacs here for Flash's army.
No, that's... The thing is, 5 medevacs full of Hellbats being dropped on your Hellbats? That's not good. Your siege tanks are going to have a hard time even...
Oh, another drop over here. But this planetary is going to clean this up pretty quickly here. As long as he moves those SCVs out of the way, the damage won't be too much.
Oh, you got a few at least.
Oh, he got the Thor.
My God.
He can actually drop him if he wants now.
Flash is just a bit sloppy.
It's kind of weird to even have those words come out of your mouth, but
Yeah.
it's true.
Flash being sloppy with siege tanks never happened.
Well, I think we're about to have... No, he's being very cautious right now. He does have the superior Viking count, which means actually Maru might have to completely back up here.
If Maru didn't have those two Thors, Flash could gain a huge advantage right now, but you know that's not the case. So he's going to be able to withdraw without losing anything. Flash taking his 5th. Maru actually adding command centers as well now.
We're going into supreme late game here, TBT.
Yeah, this is the point where they become kind of unkillable.
Yeah.
Now, we already have some battle cruisers being made by Flash, and that's how you start to break through this type of thing. Same thing in StarCraft 1. Like, there'd be too many siege tanks, you couldn't kill each other, battle cruisers. But of course, in this game, you need the Vikings as well. A few Ravens is never too bad, because they help you in Viking Wars immensely.
Yeah.
For the supply, they're better than a Viking in the Viking War.
As you can see, that's the 5th that's up and running. We have another drop coming in over here. Let's try to damage some SCVs. We do have battle cruisers on the way, by the way.
A couple more starports, more command centers as well. And here we go, just another Hellbat drop. You know, this is probably pretty much what it's going to look like for the next few minutes.
Yeah, they can't really engage into each other just because of the way the siege tank operates. I mean, you're going to run into that. And for one, also, Maru can't drop on those siege tanks because of the number of Vikings. There's just no way to really engage each other. This is actually not that different from what StarCraft 1
no, it's not.
Looked like.
It's quite similar indeed.
Now, is he going to try to drop this over here at that bottom base? That's a possibility as well.
I wonder what he's going to do with that, actually. It's a good question, but he just went over a watchtower that Flash controls, so
yeah.
Not going to get away with whatever it was going to be. I like, by the way, that he has that sensor tower in the middle. That really helps out, and it's encompassing a big chunk of Flash's army right now.
I'm surprised Flash hasn't made his own sensor tower, by the way, considering where we're at. We're at the 25-minute marker here.
He's just starting now.
Okay, there we go.
He definitely does need that, though. You know what? Those Vikings and battlecruisers are way out of position. If Maru were to utilize his 5 medevacs full of Hellbats and just rush into that siege tank line, he might be able to break it.
Yeah, you might be right, actually. It's going to land. Oh, no.
He stands under it so it can't land. It's a very nice move. I'll pick that right off.
Yep.
Battlecruiser count going to be pretty high here soon. I think he's about to have 5.
We are getting into some serious TBT meching endgame here. Now he's going to drop this all here very nicely done, wiping out all those SCVs.
Yeah, probably going to... I was wondering if he's going to try to kill that planetary, like watching mules run around it, repairing it, dodging their hits. More command centers coming up for Maru as well. Probably start seeing SCVs thrown away by Maru pretty soon.
Yeah.
Here. Flash, on the other hand, I don't think so yet.
Well, look at how much Maru's banked up right now.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. Once you bank a lot and you have enough orbitals, you just kind of don't want quite as many SCVs out there. Get your supply a little bit higher into siege tanks and battlecruisers and whatnot.
All right, a scan here on these siege tanks.
I wonder how many Vikings Maru has right now, because the Sky Terran army of Flash has become rather frightening.
Well, he could try using, I guess, Yamato gun to try to pick off a few of these tanks on the outside here. All right, and it looks like Flash decided he has the air superiority. Oh. We have a Seeker missile coming in here. Oh, my
God. He needs to actually get those out of there. Oh, that is a huge amount of splash damage going down. Kind of sloppy again there by Flash, but he has so many battlecruisers and Vikings that it doesn't even seem to matter.
Yeah, and with his air dominance, he can wipe out everything that's on the ground here. Now, Maru does have all that money that he banked up. He is just remaxing out here. But now Flash is going to close in.
Well, he's got to be careful. Those do siege up, so he has to move his siege tanks back. Thing is, how do you get enough anti-air out right now to stop these battle cruisers and that many Vikings? You just do not. 15 Vikings while you're incrementing out, like maybe 5 Vikings at a time. Not even that anymore as the starport's going to fall.
This is the Flash from StarCraft 1, guys. This is exactly what it looked like with that mech army.
Except for that attack uphill.
Yes, minus that. Controlling that army brilliantly, then getting that air dominance. And that goes to show you, probably Maru should stick with more of that bio tank here.
You know, I think he played a strong mech game here as well, though. The kid just is a ball of talent. Well, look at this. These Thors actually can kill those Vikings so quick. They're so low in health at this point. But the battle cruiser is too much.
GG, there's a massive amount of siege tanks pouring in here, taking out the 5th and the 3rd down here. So that will do it. We will go on to our final game here, but to see which of these 2 heavyweights is going to be going on to the round of 8.
That's right. Game number 3 coming up. Flash tying it up 1-1. Can he get through to that round of 8? Can he keep his BlizzCon dreams alive?
At this point in time, I'm convinced Maru cannot mech against Flash. I mean, he didn't do poorly. So? He didn't do poorly in that game, but it's just too much of what Flash has already mastered.
He missed the Sky Terran switching time.
Yeah.
He was unprepared for that, and that was actually a big thing in StarCraft 1 as well. Like, if you don't see, when you're both going mech, you don't see your opponent going into Battlecruiser and whatever they're going with Battlecruiser, which is in this game is mostly Vikings.
Yeah.
You just can't catch up to it. So I think he could go mech against Flash if the map is right, but he has to be completely on top of when to switch. Because he was actually in a good spot until Flash just had like 5 BCs and more Vikings.
Yeah. Well, you know, the BCs, once you win that air battle, the BCs on top of that ground army are just too strong. And then you lose, considering that TVT is so much about position when you're meching, it is a big chess game, you suddenly lose the center of the board.
Yes.
Those BCs just drive everything out.
And horses on the side don't do very much.
Frost is going to be our map.
Okay, well, it's going to be a cold grave for one of these 2.
This is it, man. We're finally here at the end of the round of 16, and these are the 2 players who are left. The best StarCraft 1 player and the champion of the Star League Season 2. How about that? And that was in the round of 16, man. Now we're going to the round of 8.
The more I think about this whole season, I'm just like... It's so cool that, well, there's only going to be a second Terran in that round of 8, but the Terran that's already waiting is Jokji, which is really neat. And I'm just like... I can't stop thinking, what if Jokji just won again? Like, no one thinks he can win this season. Nobody thinks that. There's like Sulky and Rain and Parting and one of these 2. Like, no one would guess Jokji to win, just like when Jokji won.
Man, these guys must be, you know, really exhausted. I mean, that was a long TVT we just had back there.
Yeah, that was a pretty long one.
What was it, about 30 minutes?
But, you know, the adrenaline, I think, is probably pumping for these guys
as well.
That's true.
Everything's on the line. The loser of this is out. The winner is in the final spot for the round of 8 in this year's final GSL Code S.